Hey friend, it's Akil here to remind you that when we manage our expectations, we're free to show up for things the way they are. So we live in a society that's so goal-oriented and object-driven and outcome-driven that we often forget to pay attention to what our process is. And this is the magnificent thing about being a human being is we're a part of nature, and nature works in processes. So I'm really inspired by a book that I read by astronaut Chris Hadfield. It's called An Astronaut's Guide to Life. And in it, he talks about attitude, and not in the general sense that we know attitude, but in the sense of what a pilot uses attitude for, which has to do with the way that the plane is oriented towards the horizon. So if your attitude is up, you're going away from the horizon, away from the surface of the earth. And if your attitude is down, you're going down towards the surface of the earth. And this way of thinking really helps you to understand that there's a trajectory that you're following. Things are in motion. There's a process in motion. But where you place your attention, where your attitude is, helps you determine where your process is leading you. So when we pay attention to our process and we're not so focused on the outcomes or our expectations of things, we can easily adjust our course. And this looks and feels different in different situations. But we need to understand what our processes are, and we need to understand how much time and space we need to attend to our process. That's what the practices teach us. So in real time, when you're doing, say, a physical yoga practice where you're sitting and meditating, a thought or feeling and sensation might arise, and then you can notice it. And that's the beginning of your process. And as you notice, it's non-judgmental noticing, it's just noticing. And then from there, you can sense into what is this related to? What am I doing right now? What's causing this? How is it making me feel? What am I going to do with it? Once you understand what this process is and you can slow it down and break it up into parts, then you can manage how you navigate what your attitude is. In other words, where are you headed with this? This really helps you to feel free to show up to things the way they are. When we're expecting things to turn out a certain way, we generally set ourselves up for disappointment. So the lessons in the Bhagavad Gita are all about non-attachment. And in this sense, what it means is you recognize where your mind has created a sense of how things should be or ought to be. And you recognize yourself and clinging to that set of standards or ideas, and that is the thing that causes you to suffer. So if you soften around your expectations and your attitudes and you notice what your process is, you can adjust. And things don't always turn out the way we understand them to be or have in mind, but that's where grace comes in. That's the value of being part of a process, is there's some element of mystery unfolding in everything. So when you soften and when you relax your expectations, you're open, you're more available to the mystery to unfold to you, to show you how to respond, and to be in a position to be teachable, to be shown what to do next. This is a skill. This is something that we all have to learn, and it's something that we practice, and that's why we do our practices. So as you do your practice, pay attention. What is my process, and what is my attitude? What is my trajectory? Is that helping me to feel more free, or is it making me feel ungrounded and unsettled and stuck? So ask yourself these questions and look at your process. Be curious and allow other people to show you your reflection. That's what our relationships do. They're this beautiful mirror that shows us where we are in our process and if it's working. Take all of that into your heart and let it settle for you. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I am here to support your process, just like you're here to support mine.